Welcome to Weekend Project. I'm Laura Lynn of the Mom and Pop Quilt Shop, and we're very happy to see you here today. Today we're continuing working on our Get to Know My Neighborhood, and today we're doing a flower. Now this, of course, is made up flower. This is just me having fun, looking at my neighborhood, picking out colors that I like. Hopefully these are flowers that, not this particular flower, but flowers will be popping up around us come spring, and we're just really encouraging that along and adding a lot of color to this quilt project. So this is really just more of a free fun. Just have fun, be whimsical about it, use your own artistic within yourself to make the little triangles for the trees, to make the little curvature for the house, and the little for the roof and stuff like that. Just be creative and have some fun. Take inspiration from coloring book pages, birdhouses, posts, whatever. Just be inspired by what's around you, okay? So how do flowers grow? Well, they have a stem and they have leaves and they have petals. So that's pretty much what I just did right here. So there's the first one. Now we're going to make one almost identical like this, because if you leave a comment in these videos as we go along for the Get to Know My Neighborhood, one person will be drawn in the end, at the end of the year, to win this quilt project. I'm making one for me and possibly one for you. You just never know. So make sure you leave a comment below, okay? So let's get this one going. So I have my square right here. I'm using a 9x9 piece of gray, light gray with a little bit of marble texture to it sort of look for my background fabric, just so it's all similar. I haven't decided about the sashing yet, if I wanted to do that or keep it more as just a little block sets of color and stuff like that. So I have some like light turquoisey kind of material here, and I just take some heat and bond. This is not even going to use a sewing machine at all for this project, because it's only going to be about 50 by 50 in the end. And this is a heat and bond product, and you stick the textured side. You can see a little bit that there, maybe in the camera, that camera there. And it's got a bit of a texture to it. So that goes to the back side of your fabric, right? That's where you're going to iron it. And at this point in time, that gives you the opportunity to be able to trace something out onto it to make a shape, that's how I did all the other ones, was just trace it out with a pencil. Just have some fun, use my own artistic little flow, and just have fun with it. So once you have it pressed on the one side, it gives you the opportunity to trace something, or you can trace beforehand and then place it and then cut it out. That's completely up to you. At that point in time, you'll end up having them just like with a sticky back. Once you peel that, and then you press it down on your material where you want it to stay, and then you iron it and it's good to go. Okay, so you can always just quilt it afterwards. So it's a good investment, especially if you can get this stuff on sale. You can do many projects with them. Okay, so we have our little turquoise here. I don't think we need any more petals of those, but we are going to need some more of this blue fabric here to match. Okay, you can add a little sunshine up in the corner if you want. It's completely up to you. So I'm just going to move this over here, and I just did like little teardrop shapes. See, just like that, just a little teardrop, making them big and small, and mixed them up and tried to have a couple petals for each, and just make your shapes the best you can. Try and utilize your material. Okay. So we're probably going to want 4 of these for this one. Okay. And then we'll go there. So we'll cut those 4 out. And then we have a bit of stem here. It's just some really cool green leafy type material. And you're just going to cut a little wedge off and then peel it and make sure we're sticking it down. So what we want to do is make sure we're kind of sticking this all down beforehand, placing it before we put the iron on, hence why we're working on our ironing board itself. Okay, so let's cut these guys out. Put our extra fabric over there. Somebody is like just right here waiting. Hold on. There you go. As soon as I started talking. Okay, so yeah, you just want to just cut it out. Either cut it on the line or around the line, or you know, if as long as it gave you a vague idea what you wanted to do. Okay. Just take your time. There's so many beautiful colored houses here, especially down by the water. They're just beautiful, beautiful tones of turquoise and blue. Okay, I got those cut out. Okay, put that off to the side. Oh, we need more for the small one. Sorry. Okay, here we go. So here, that's probably for the small. Let's do some for the big ones here, a little bit more into the size. So we get 4 bigger ones here. So bottom, circle up, bottom, circle down, bottom, circle up. That's more of like almost like a paisley there. That's okay. There. All right, so we'll cut those out for the top flower. Okay. And always keep any of the little extra bits that you have left over from this. You never know what you're going to need it for. It could be an eyeball, a door handle, a button, you know, like just don't throw any of it away. Just kind of put it in a baggie or something. And then when you need something small, you can kind of go to that bag and see what you got in there. That will help aid you. Okay. And I'm going to try and keep that one that's a little paisley shape there, because all petals are different. They're not all the same. They're very organic. And that's why this project is very, you know, whimsical and to what you want to make it. Okay, get them all? I think I did. Okay. Now let's shift our little project right in front and center. Okay. We want to peel what we have to off these blue ones here before placing them down. We also need the center of our flowers, so I drew a couple of circles on the back. So let's get those all trimmed out. Doesn't have to be an exact circle. Just close to thereof. And this is a great way to help, you know, recreate you know, a Munchkin's you know, art project. Make it like it for forever, right? Make it into a pillow. Okay, so here's some green fabric I actually left over from the roof project last time. So I've just folded it in half. I'm going to make me 2 leaves. Now, to me, a leaf is kind of like flat on one side and then points, kind of curves to the points in the center, shaping that little leaf shape, right? So let's give that flat bottom there. And then we can just kind of wing it. Hold them together. Again, like keep these little bits. You just never know when we're going to need them. And then put that right in the center. Okay. And those will be our 2 leaves. If we want to, we can come in and sculpt one a little bit more than the other. Make sure these little bits are maybe kind of a little bit more rounded. Whatever is pleasing. Okay. All right, now need again our strip for our flower to grow on. So we're just going to cut up. Doesn't have to be straight, and the fact that it's not straight is it's going to add more naturalness to your flower. Okay, so we're going to measure about there, and then we're going to clip, and we're going to use this little stem over here on this one. Okay. And then from that, what did I do with my other little green? Oh, here we can actually do a little leaf on this one because it's brand spanking new, right? There we go. A nice little leaf. Okay, so now's the fun part. We got to peel all the little fun things off, okay? And start placing them. Okay, let's aim for this one first because it's going to pretty much go on the bottom. Okay, and just kind of wiggle the paper back and forth, give it a little bit of a wrinkle, and it comes off just fine. Now, it's not sticky at this point, but it does have, you know, it does have a little bit of stick to it. So make sure you're kind of putting it where you want it. You can kind of just put your, oh, don't do that. Might have to roll your sleeves up. Okay, there. And then we want to make sure our leaves get tucked in behind. Okay, so we got our base of where our stem is going to go for the big flower. Yeah, this is an every other week project. So this is number 3, or block number 3 in the process of getting to know my neighborhood. And then you just want to stick the leaf for the stem just right under. Have it kind of pointing up because that's how they go naturally in nature. Okay. And if you feel your stems are a little too big, then you can always just trim them down. Or if you maybe it looks too small, you can always add another piece, right? Okay, so let's peel the blue. I found it easy, especially for the tips, for the blue, to go right at the corner. Okay. I kind of start at the bottom first because I want to make sure I'm covering where the green stem is coming up to make the flower. Okay. All right, so we're doing there. Okay, so that covers it. You can see how that covers it right there, the little square top. And then once we put the little yellow one on top, we're good to go. Okay. Try and put your little corners, your little tips right into the center. And you could have it if you cut one too many petals or you don't need one, you can have it so it's like it's falling off, like it's falling off the tree or the flower. Another one of these. I want to stick the other ones in here, so we got to make some room. Okay, there we go. Make a pretty big flower. Okay. Get all those little tips together. One more. One more. Okay, now the yellow for the center. And then we can pretty much set this one and then we can work on the small one. Okay. Now, if you had really tiny, tiny little delicate pieces, you may want to use some tweezers. Okay. All right, so let's just set that one. It's pretty good for now. I like it. Okay, just making sure. This one down a little bit. Curve it up a bit. Okay, there we go. Now you just come straight down, just straight down on the whole project. Give it a couple seconds. You don't want to go back and forth or anything like that. You just want to kind of just up, press, make sure the glue is adhering. Okay, I think we're good. So if it got bumped, that's okay. We'd only have the one to reset. All right, so let's move this one over here. Let's peel the little blue ones off and set our little flower up. You can make a couple small ones if you like. If you had some extra little yo-yos left over, that would be also a cute little flower head. You can just make the stems and your little leaves. There's many uses you could use for centers. You could use a button instead if you had some really cute buttons. Let's put that there. If I put it on my ironing board, I may lose it, that little yellow, my little mushroom background. Just be inspired by what's around you. You know, you have a stash, use it. Maybe it's something in your stash that has inspired you to make something, right? It has been just ice galore here. Okay. Pretty little flower. So cute. You can use solid colors. You could use textures like I got going on here. Move our little. Okay. That green or that flower right there has 2 green ones on the bottom in the center, and this one's going to have 2 blue ones. So there we go. We're going to move our little stem down a bit though. She getting lost in there. Okay. A little bit more even. And this is where you can take all the time you need to tweak things so it sits just right with you. Okay. And then you put your little center in. Of course, you can make more. You can actually even do beads in the center of this. I was thinking of that too because there's stuff I really wanted to add. That's why I really wanted it to be a wall hanging. Okay, so here we go. I'm happy with the positioning. And there we go. And if something happened to shift while you were doing this or whatever, you can just peel it up. It might be a little sticky on the background there. You may probably scrape it away, or you may just have to start over, but or cover it up with something else. But you could definitely change it if you needed to. Okay, so that is on there. It's not going anywhere. Okay, it's a cute little flower. Super easy. Like I said, be inspired by what's around you. If you needed to trace something out and you actually had to draw on this side, like on the textured side because you wanted it flipped or reversed, that is when you want to make sure you're using something just light enough. Like you wouldn't want to do that with a black pencil or a black pen and then going onto white fabric, because the gluey stuff, unless you're cutting on the inside line of it, you'll always see that dark line around your applique. Okay, so hopefully that's a lesson learned on that one. It's like, why is it? I'm like, oh, I put it on the glue. Silly. Well, thank you very much for joining me today. We greatly appreciate you here at the Mom and Pop Quilt Shop. Hopefully you're quilting along or appliquing along on this adventure. Now, if you wanted to do a zigzag stitch or an applique stitch all the way around this, by all means, go for it. Have fun with it. Mine is just to be a wall hanging. I'm thinking that when I get it all quilted, it'll stay together well. It's not really going to be washed, so it'll just be going as wall hanging. So beads to add for this, or sequins, or rickrack, or anything else like that can be easily attained on this sort of a project. So that's when you get to look through your drawers and figure out what you need and what you're going to use. Okay. Thank you, everybody. Big hugs to you. We'll see you Saturday at 1 p.m. on our live stream, and you guys enjoy the rest of the day. Have a great weekend. Thanks, everybody. Take care.